Hot days, sweat is what you got days. Bugs buzzing from cousin to cousin, juices dripping, running and ripping. Catch the ones you love days. Birds peeping, old men sleeping, lazy days, daisies lay, beaming and dreaming. Hot days, sweat is what you got days.
Have you ever played with your cousins on a hot day? Walter Dean Myers did. His poem, Summer, describes what you do in the summer with your cousins. Walter Dean Myers inspired me to write a poem with rhyme and rhythm. He was born August 12, 1937 in Martinsburg, West Virginia. As a kid, his mom died and he got adopted. Walter Dean Myers had 3 kids. He had 2 wives. As a poet, his style of writing, he wrote with rhyme and rhythm. He died in 2014. Finally, Walter Dean Myers' poem Summer uses rhyme and rhythm to describe people. I hope you enjoyed it. My poem. Wet days, water is what you got days. Fish swimming from bait to bait, swimming and dripping up in the river to tide, catch the fish you want days. Fish swishing, old Smoky Bee dripping, lazy pool, fishing hole, beaming and dreaming of big fish bait is what you got days.
Have you ever played with your cousins outside running around? Walter Dean Myers did. His poem Summer describes him as a kid running around outside. Walter Dean Myers inspired me to write about people and places by using rhyme and rhythm. Walter Dean Myers was born on August 12th. He had trouble speaking. He figured out that he should use words he could say easily. This inspired him to write poems with words he could say. His style of writing poems is he writes about people and places with rhyme and rhythm. When Walter Dean Myers was 17 years old, he dropped out of school to go to the Army. Walter Dean Myers also got married with Joyce Smith and got a divorce and got remarried to Constance Brendel. In 1984, he graduated from Empire State College. In 1999, Walter Dean Myers wrote and published his most famous novel, Monster, and won 2 awards. He died 2014, July 1st. Walter Dean Myers' poem, Summer, describes him as a kid running around with his cousins outside in the hot weather. He used lots of rhyme and rhythm like hot days, is what you've got days. He used short lines and not much stanzas. His rhyming and rhythm made me feel that I could see and hear cousins laughing and running around. Reading his poem inspired me to write about people and places and weather like cold days and snow days. I hope you enjoyed the rhyme and rhythm in my poem as much as Walter Dean Myers. My poem. I don't like cold days, freezing just snow days. From Jack to Jack and snow pants. It's cold days, in the weather it's snow days. Freezing is just snow days. Cold days, I don't like cold days.
Have you ever played with cousins on a hot summer day? Walter Dean Myers did. His poem Summer describes cousins playing in the hot sun. Walter Dean Myers inspires me to write in rhyme and rhythm using imagery. Walter Dean Myers was born August 12, 1937 in Martinsburg, West Virginia. The thing that inspired him is that he had trouble speaking in large groups and rhyme and rhythm helped him. Also, using words he could say. The style he had in poetry is rhyme and rhythm. In Summer, he had 2 stanzas and short lines. In 1954, Walter Dean Myers dropped out of school to go to the Army at 17 years old. In 1973, Walter Dean Myers got married. In 1984, he graduates from Empire State College. Also, in 1999, Walter Dean Myers receives 2 awards for the poetry book Monsters. Finally, Walter Dean Myers died July 1st, 2014, at the age of 76. Walter Dean Myers' poem Summer describes cousins on a hot summer day. He uses rhyme-like words like beaming and dreaming and dripping and ripping. His rhyme made me want to repeat the poem over and over again. Reading his poem, the words I used were smashing and crashing. I hope you enjoy my poem as much as Walter D. Myers. My poem, School Days. I like school days, learning's what you got days. Homework is buzzing from student to student. Lockers crashing, fingers smashing. Find the book you love day. Students peeping, teachers sleeping. School days, rule days. Beaming and dreaming of school days, learning's what you got days.
Have you ever written a poem about anything? Walter D. Myers did. His poem Summer describes books buzzing from cousin to cousin. His vibe describes sound. He inspired me to write my own poem about my rooms. Walter D. Myers was born on August 12, 1973. He lived in Wonderland. Walter D. Myers had a hard time in school. He had trouble speaking when he was writing. But when he was writing with rhythm and rhyme, it was easier. He dropped out of school to go to the army when he was 17. In 1960, he married Joyce Smith. And Walter D. Myers had 2 kids. In 1984, Walter D. Myers continued doing poetry and short stories and novels for children or teens. In 1984, he graduated from Empire State College. In 1999, he got 2 awards for his poetry. In 1999, he also wrote his most famous book, Monster. Walter D. Myers inspired me to use rhyme and rhythm for my poem. His poem, Summer, describes hot days and cousins. He used rhyme and repetition like hot days. His poem inspired me to write about my room. I hope you enjoy my poem as much as Walter D. Myers. I like rooms. Toys on the floor everywhere. There is kids. Trash in the toy bins. Room is all mess. Sister making a big mess. I am mad.